So 3 days a week I run a pretty simple group fitness class for some people back in the States and all over the world, frankly. And if you wanted to join it, happy to provide you the link. It's cheap. I ask $40 a month per person, which accounts for about, it's less than $5 a session, right? 3 days a week, minimum of 2 days a week, maximum of 3 days a week. We meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Pacific time, so 4 p.m. on the West Coast. If you're living in California or anywhere up and down that area. Anyway, this is what we covered this morning, and it's kind of what we've been working on our way through. Quick background, most of the people that are attending right now are in an older population. So they're 50 years plus, right? And that means that there's some mobility challenges and there's some kind of long life stuff that has caused them to be maybe challenged in how well they can move or how often. And we've been working through some progressions to help them just get better at moving around. And this is one of the things we did today. We always start out with some breath work. Today we did some pursed lip, like you purse your lips like you're trying to whistle if you're bad at it, or straw breathing, depending on what gear you have near you, for about 2 minutes. And then we warm up with some vision exercises. If you know me, you know how much I really appreciate those. Then we did some balance work, and then we were focusing on hip hinge, and on some lower body mechanics. And what we were specifically working on was being able to land and jump from whatever height you're capable of. And one of the points that I had to make to some of the people on the call was, you may not be able to jump for whatever reasons, but if you can do slow speed jumps, super slow speed jumps, then you can start building up the mobility and the strength requirements to be able to actually jump. So as I said, first thing was 2 minutes of breathing, right? Diaphragmatic, pursed lip, or straw breathing. Try to keep your inhale about half as long as your exhale. So if I inhale for a count of 3, I want to exhale for a count of 6, right? And then vision drills. Get a little closer to the camera and try not to do the splits. There we go. All right, so if you watch, I'm going to follow my finger with my eyes only. So my eyes move, but my head doesn't. And we did a lateral, a vertical, so a plus sign, and then diagonals, right? Both sides of an X. So you follow your finger with your eyes. Don't move your head. Then make big circles. Track your finger in a circle. And try to make it as smooth as possible. Keep a really clear focus the whole time. So plus sign, X, circles. Then near far push-ups. So I track my finger until one of two things happens. Either my finger doubles, the image doubles, or it touches my nose, and then I hold it for a 1, 2, 3 count, and then follow it back out. Clear focus to the external, and ding, 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 hold for 3 count. Clear focus to the inside range, hold 2, 3, clear focus to the outside range, hold 2. Do about 5 of each of these things, right? Okay, so that's vision. And after that we do balance, which means I keep my eyes fixed on a target. And right now I'm kind of looking at the camera, but we'll say my finger's the target. And I keep my eyes fixed right there, good clear focus on my fingernail, and I move my head, same basic pattern. I'm gonna nod no, I'm gonna nod yes. Then I'm going to draw one side of an X. When you do the X, try not to tilt or rotate. So just go up and down into the corners and keep your eyes clearly focused on the target, whatever that is. It can be an object in the room, it can be your finger. Try to keep it a stationary target though. Trying to track your cat may not work out. All right, so we've got vision and balance. We did some breathing work. Now we do movement. I'm going to hold my finger out at about arm's length and follow it as far as I can from left to right with my head and eyes together. So now my whole body moves as a unit. And it's like there's a string coming out from my nose, and I follow that as far as I can, left to right, then top to bottom, and then corner to corner. When you do the corner to corner, go up into the top corner, down into the bottom corner. Notice that when I go down into the bottom corner, I sit back. And when I go up into the top, I open up. All right. So same pattern, right? We got the plus sign and then an X through. Cool. So we've done breath, vision, balance, movement together. And we did a little bit of mobility work, and we did some specific mobility for the task that we were going to perform, which was hip hinge, our knees going from bent to straight, flexion extension, and ankles, toes, feet. All right. We also did a little bit for the upper body, right? Because I want to mobilize the other joints that are involved in the same activity. And before I do it fast, I want to make sure I can do it slow. Some of the mobility work we did, really simple toe touch progression. If you've ever experienced anything from the functional movement systems crowd, you've probably seen this, and it is other places. I'm going to use my flip flop, my sandal, as the thing to pinch between my knees. Now, if I fold this in half, it'll probably work better. Cool. Now I want to keep that pinched between my knees. And what I do is make a box out of my thumbs, and I follow it up and over the top, as far as I can. Then I follow it back down until my arms hit my chest. Then I reach for my toes and get my hips behind me. And I want to try to find my toes. There they are. Let's say I can't get all the way down. What I'm going to do is still bend my knees and touch my toes. But I keep pinching the object between my knees. So this doesn't go anywhere. That stays pinched up, right? All right, once I found the bottom, I had everybody to their ability walk their hands out. You don't want to shift a lot. Don't wag the tail. Until they can get to as close to this position as possible. Top of the push-up tight butt. If they were capable, I had them do a shoulder tap on both sides, and then push their heels back to the floor. Do a little bit of stretch in the upper body. A little stretch of the hamstring. Still pinching the knees together, keeping that object squished up between the knees. And you walk your hands back. Knees bend before coming up. Shoulders up. Repeat. It was 5 times. Then I had them perform the same action with their toes elevated. I use the edge of my mat to demonstrate. So this is a 2-inch combo mat, and it's the same exact thing. Take my flip flop, pinch it between my knees. Ooh. Toes up provides a little bit of a balance challenge, so make sure you're safe, right? If this feels unsafe, don't do it. But if you're capable, toes up, same pattern. Follow to the top, touch the toes. Much easier, they're closer. And I walk my hands out until I'm at the top of the push-up. Squeeze the butt tight. Try not to shift too much. Shoulder tap. Shift the hips back. Walk the hands back. Knees bend. Stand back up. Times 5. Then turn around. Heels up now. And I would do the same movement. Right? Go through the whole pattern again. Then we did some warm-ups for the hip hinge pattern. Taking a dowel, holding it out in front of me at arm's length, thumbs pointed at the ceiling, elbows pointed at the floor. My arms are straight. And it's arm's length. I don't want to be out further, and I don't want to be closer. Arms are straight, nice and tall. Dowel pressed into the floor, so actually push down a little bit. Push down a little bit on it. And you should feel your stomach tighten up. Then push your hips back. Sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back. Use the dowel for balance. Take a breath out, and then big breath in. And as you come back up, lock the hips at the top, squeeze the butt tight, do a little bit of a stomach crunch. Keep pushing the dowel in and exhale hard. So inhale, all the way back, and exhale at the top. Then, After about 5 or 6 of those, hold the dowel out at about 45 degrees to the bottom. Set it on the ground. That's a balance point. Pick the opposite leg up and make big hip circles. And bent knee. Keep the knee bent. Go all the way through the front, back, and side. Try to only move from the hip that you're moving. So don't make it a big thing. Try not to lean forward. Try not to lean back. Try not to lean to the side. Just move the hip you're moving. And it's big circles. You can make a more complex shape later. Do the same thing on both sides. Do about 5 circles in each direction. From there, create a partner drill. Because some of these people have partners and some didn't. For people who don't have partners, you can use something like a TRX. You take a dowel and run it through one of the handles and use that for support. Or you can use the doorknobs on a closet door. Make sure it's not going to come off in your hands though. You want to be about arm's length away from it. And actually want to be able to lean back a little bit and hang just a little bit. Now I'm not going to use my arms, I'm going to use my legs. And I'm going to sit back. I'm going to push my hips back. Just hang on that bar until they hit the bottom. At the bottom, you may find that if you rock back and forth on your heels, your toes want to turn out a little bit. It's totally okay. If your feet are about shoulder width, it shouldn't be a problem. You don't want to be duck-footed, toes pointed out too far. And you don't want to be pigeon-toed, toes pointed in too far. You want to be comfortable. So I have you a Yugo eye barrel. So my partner drops down, they come back up, and they hold on and give me a base of support so that I can drop down, find my heels with my butt, stand back up. At the top, squeeze tight, tight stomach, tight butt, arms length, arms length. Don't shrug. Keep your shoulders down and back, nice and tall, right? Big chest. All right, so do about 5 of those. That's the movement prep. That's the movement prep for most of it. Last bit of movement prep was something called the pegboard drill. Pegboard drill. So if my feet are wider than my shoulders, I want you to imagine that there's a peg through the ball of my foot, right through the ball of the foot, so that I can pick my heel up. I can pick up my heel, but I can't pivot. I can't move. I can't do that. Turn my toes out, and I can't turn my toes in. My foot's stuck. Just imagine that. Heel comes up, and then the knee comes to the middle. So I've got positive contact with all of my toes. See me wiggling my toes on my right foot here. I want contact from the pinky all the way through to the big toe across the ball of foot. So the heel and midfoot come up, and I can move the knee inside and back to neutral. If I can do that easy, then I try to turn the hips next, and I turn the hips with it. If I can turn the hips, then I can let the upper body turn as well. Once the upper body turns, I'm going to bring the upper body back, then the hip, then the knee. The heel drops, switches to the other side. Now this one travels in, then the hip turns, shoulders. You can keep the head neutral or you can let the head move. Do a little Elvis stance. Try not to shrink, right? You're not bouncing here. Try to stay neutral. Nice and tall. Good positive contact through the entire foot. All right, so just to revision, we did the toe touch progression, walkouts, shoulder tap. Then we did arms on the dome, sitting back, coming up to the top, locking the hips, squeezing tight, gliding down into the floor. Then it's a partner or wall assisted, door assisted, TRX assisted, hinge pattern. Try to find the bottom, come back to the top. What I mean by hinge is the focus isn't getting to the bottom of the squat. The focus is getting my hips back as far as possible. Then letting the knees hinge. Right? So it's a movement of a wave. Then ball of foot, pegboard grip, pegboard grip. Now pivot side to side without turning on that toe. Cool. after we went through 3 sets of 5 repetitions of each of those things, everybody's pretty well warmed up. Good basic mobility, we know where we're at. I've been having them recheck their peripheral vision, their single leg balance, and their active range of motion, whether it be a toe touch, shoulder flexion, shoulder extension, abduction, whatever it is. I know what's in it. AD, do, not AD. Once those were all sorted out, we did some super slow speed jumps. And what it looked like was real simple. I'm going to pretend that I'm standing and I want to jump. So I take my hands behind me, and as my hands pass my hips, I follow them with my upper body and sit back. Cool. I'm in the bottom. Now I'm going to jump. So hips and knees. When hips and knees extend and lock out, we go into the next piece, which is getting up on my toes and staying there. And the arms will go forward. Then I want to stay there for a second. That's good. Then I'm going to bring the arms back down as my heels start coming down. And I want to time it so that they come down together. There. Right heels dropped. Hands are about even with my hips. I follow again as my hands go behind my hips. Start hinging. Find the bottom. Get ready. Jump slow. Super slow speed coming out of the bottom. Hips and knees extend. Ankles extend. Arms go up. Hold in position for a moment. Then his arms come down. Heels come down. I want to try to time the heels and my arms being in line with my body. Heels down, arms in line with the body. Follow, hips go back. Load, jump, hold, land, slow, smooth, easy. Keep it easy. Only move as slow as you can move. And try not to go fast. Keep it light, keep it happy. And make it something that's easy today. Later you can make it hard. Today make it easy. You might find this pretty challenging, so things to pay attention to. Your balance. If you find that at the top it's really hard to hold, then get up there on your tippy toes and stay there for a second and figure out, is it one ankle or the other? Is it the hollow foot? Is it one leg? Is it one hip? Knee? What's the piece in the chain that's not giving you the feedback that you want? You may also find that if you just hold up on your tippy toes and use an object for balance, maybe the dowel you were using before, and do that head turn drill, do your nose, your yeses, and your X's, and then go back to it, you might find that it's a little bit easier to maintain the top position. If this is as low as you can go without being uncomfortable in the hips and knees, that's fine too. If this is as high as you can get without being uncomfortable in your ankles, hips, and knees, that's also fine. So keep it scaled to what you're able to do easily and comfortably. Go through, do 5 repetitions of each thing, and then restart at the top. Do about 3 sets, call it a day. It's pretty good work, and it's a little bit of fun. If you want to do the extra credit, we did some extra credit for everybody at the end, which was elbows at 90 degrees. My fingertips equal with my nose, so they don't go high. They stay about in line with my cheek or my nose. And I'm going from cheek to cheek. So that's the arm mechanics. Lower body mechanics. Just bringing the knee up and trying not to shift too far side to side. So try to stay pretty much in the middle. And then combining them together. It's an A march, right? So we're marching in place. Try not to get too much of a shift. Stay nice and tall. Keep this neutral. I find it really useful to pick an object in the distance that's about eye level and keep eyes on it. So once we've got that point, getting up on the toes at the top of each step and holding it for just a moment. So if you want the extra credit part, that was it. Again, if you want to join out of a group, it's $40 a month, which I think is a reasonable cost for a maximum of 3 days a week, minimum of 2 days a week. We meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And we have a little bit of fun. We always do some breathing. We always do vision. We always do balance. We always do some mobility. And then we work through progressions like we did today. We also go through some floor gymnastics or Pilates type exercises to strengthen up the trunk, right? May not be able to see them, but I want to have strong abs. At least one strong ab is good enough. And I want to be able to control my body through space. Pretty much no matter what I'm doing, no matter how fast I do it. Everything's scaled according to the ability levels of the people that attend, and I typically give between 2 and 3 scaled progressions for each exercise. So everybody should be able to find something that challenges them without making it difficult. As always, remember to get strong and stay strong, have fun, move towards better every day, don't break and don't quit. Cheers, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!